That wasn't on the,
No.
thank God.
Mayor, I'd like to call to order the work session meeting of the Elmwood Park Mayor and Council for February 11, 2021, to order at 7:03 PM. On roll call, council members Balistrary.
Here.
Fakori. I got it. Fasolo. Absent.
Good job.
Golubek. Pellegrin. Council President Wetchler.
Here.
Mayor Coletti.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you, Erin. We'd like to welcome everybody here this evening, this cold winter night. Let's get started. Whereas Chapter 231 of the Public Laws of the State of New Jersey require at the commencement of every meeting a statement of compliance be read by the presiding officer. Now, therefore, be advised that the meeting requirements for this meeting have been met by publishing an annual notice in the Record and Herald News of Woodland Park, and by posting such notice in the office of the Borough Clerk, as well as in a public place within the municipal building, and by notifying interested citizens. Notice was posted on January 8th, 2021, and published on January 13th, 2021. Now we'll go right to the public portion. Is there anyone in the audience this evening that cares to speak? If not, I'll close the public portion. Erin?
Thank you, Mayor. So the first two items on our agenda under resolutions are repeats from last week. First, we have the NJDOT proposed utility engineering and construction agreement. Again, that's the project on Route 80 that the NJDOT is working on. And they need an agreement for the relocation of certain public works facilities. And I had provided the documents to our borough attorney, so I'll turn it to him to weigh in on the agreement.
In having had the opportunity, Mayor and Council, with regards to reviewing the voluminous documentation that they provided, and all of the items that are contained therein, it doesn't seem to be any problem, with the exception that I would rather have also the engineer look at it to see what input he may have of any problems with infrastructure aspects with it, because I think they're going to be moving some fire hydrants, some drainage, and so forth in the project. So I don't have the qualification of addressing that end of it. With regards to the legality of it, everything seems to be okay legally, of what rights they have and what rights the municipality is giving up. Limitations, of course, they're there, they're all covered, except I would rather have the final say from the engineering department to make a determination
So-
as to whether they have any problems.
Thank you, Sal. Sorry to interrupt. So with that being said, if the engineer gives the okay, is it okay to, if prior to the meeting next week, can we put this on the agenda, or would you rather wait?
I just want a clarification. We're talking about the lighting, Sal?
No, it's the addition that they're doing over on Route 80.
Okay.
It's from the NJDOT.
Okay.
I mean, I don't think you should run into it that quickly if you don't have to, and I don't think you have to. But I would think just giving a chance for an engineer to look at it, and hopefully put it for consideration tentatively for the next meeting, which I could have the resolution properly drafted and the agreement fully prepared. However, if the engineers get an opportunity to look at it and approve it and have no problem, then I would have no problem doing it. If it's listed, we could always table it the next.
Yeah. I think they provided us with the agreement, so
They did.
that's perfect.
Everything is okay, and because with the state, you can't change too much.
Yeah.
They won't let you change anything.
I'll also have Scott Cars look at it too when he's in, just because he knows so much about our infrastructure too, so.
When you start dealing with infrastructure, you want to make sure that they're going to be doing the right thing. And I don't know if there's engineering proposals, if I don't know.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
They've started on the work already, correct?
No. They
No.
couldn't.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I was saying.
This is a 5-year project.
This is a project that's going to tail not only Elmwood Park, but it's also
Woodland Park, Totowa, so many towns.
Lodi.
Yeah.
Oh, it has
Rochelle
nothing to
Park.
do with the circle that they're working on now?
It's part of it is here, but they're
That was soil testing.
I'm sorry, Daniel?
Soil testing, that, what they were doing was soil testing.
Soil testing.
Yeah, maybe part of it, maybe not, but
Well, if this testing the soil, that's the first step.
I think it is part of it, but not.
Yeah.
It's so far off.
before we pass some kind of agreement, can we ensure that nothing's changed since they presented to us? It's been like a year and a half since they came in and gave us a presentation.
Yeah, I don't think they can move until we agree to cul-de-sac the, Patterson Ave.
I get it, but
Yep, for sure.
like, you know,
There's drawings and potential, that's why I don't have those drawings or whatever, even, but I'm not gonna make any comments.
We'll, see if they can come to a meeting.
even if
Or
they,
at least give us an email.
yeah, if they just tell us if what's changed, if anything, because it's been silence.
What does that do to a traffic situation with the fire department if they make a cul-de-sac out of Patterson Ave?
Well, it alleviates the backups on Market Street, that happen morning and evening, going west on Market. If you have to get an emergency vehicle through there, you can, and Steve can attest to that. So, it's gonna help in that area. I don't see any concerns with cul-de-sacing off the road. We have other cul-de-sacs in town, the fire department's well, aware of them, and they'll be aware of this, and they know how to use their vehicles on there.
Okay. So the bottom line here is, what are we doing? We're going to,
We're gonna get an update from the DOT, on the project and its possible, start date and what we need to do going forward.
And I'll also have the engineer and Sal look over the documents. I gave you my only copy, so I'll
What
need,
I'll do is I'll scan them,
okay,
if you want to, and I'll email them to you, you can email them forward.
perfect.
All right?
So are we gonna put it on for next
I
week
would,
or not?
I would suggest this, Mayor, if you really want to, you can put it tentatively for now until like Monday or Tuesday.
Contingent on,
Before she does the actual next, scheduled agenda, if I'm able to have an opportunity to speak to the engineer, and if they have, I don't know whether that's gonna happen.
What I'll do is I'll put it as one of the last items on the agenda, and if there's not enough time, I'll pull it.
Yeah, if you could either do
Yeah.
that, or you can actually
Okay.
table it.
Yeah.
okay?
Definitely.
Okay.
Okay, and then next is the Millennium Strategies proposal for the disaster recovery grant. I also sent over the contract to Mr. Ingraffia as requested.
I had the opportunity of reviewing the contract and their obligation. To me, it's quite evident in the agreement that they're obligated to do any and all grants and filings. I don't know why they want to do it extra.
That's what I thought.
Okay.
I mean,
So-
that's what they were
Do we
hired to
know-
do, all of the,
Do we know how much money is on the table with Tropical Storm Isaiah?
Not at this
I mean,
time.
their proposal to bill us is more than our attorney's bill us per hour.
So what's our position here?
I'm sorry, Mayor. Would you like to reach out to them, or would you like me to reach out?
if you want me to, I'd love to.
Yeah, I think it would be
And
best
then I
coming
can
from you.
discuss it with them. If they think that there's legal issues, then I'll deal with it.
Okay.
But as far as I'm concerned, I'm looking at their agreement, the one that they actually prepared. And it specifically states, any and all, not restricted to. I mean, it's open barrel, you know? So, I don't know.
Okay, so that will not be on the agenda, and Mr. Ingraffia will reach out to Millennium Strategies.
Do you need a contact there?
If you have it,
I'll email it to you.
thank you.
Okay, next are appointments for volunteer firefighters. Any questions? Following that is a firefighter resignation. Any questions? Also in tune with the fire department, we have an agreement with the Fair Lawn Training Center to use their facilities to conduct trainings within our fire department. Our borough administrator, Mr. Feligno, sent it to our borough attorney and our risk management, Frank Cavelli, and both are fine with the agreement in front of you.
Okay.
Mayor, again, I had an opportunity of reviewing the agreement. I don't think anything improper with it. It's pretty self-speaking, addresses everything technically, and it's a good opportunity for our department to exercise and have their opportunity to do some of the training there. They're leaving it open. I want the council also to understand that the agreement itself can be terminated within a period of time. at any time, so it's not that we're bound by it or they're bound by us. We can, the only thing I would need is to have their council also approve by resolution the same agreement.
They're going to allow you and I to go train, Sal?
What?
They're going to allow you and I to go train down there?
I don't know, Mayor, but I don't think I can do any fireworks. Got enough that I'm doing legal stuff.
I have a question. This isn't for the brand new ones, these are for
Don't keep in mind,
you guys
I'm
already
retired.
on this one. Okay, thank you.
Okay, next, 1F is in regards to the riverfront development, the developers agreement. So I'll turn that over to Sal as well.
Mayor and council, with regards to the developers agreement, that developers agreement has been finalized. You already had approved a resolution at my request pending the finalization of the developers agreement. At this juncture, I can either give it to you verbally or I can give it to you in writing. I'm giving you the okay at this point because the engineer apparently also has agreed. They've cleared it, that you can actually execute the developer's agreement only. There's an issue as to an easement, which we're still working on the language. It seems like they seem to be agreeable, but we're still bouncing the language. So I probably would have to, in the next week or so, that'll be clarified, and I can actually then advise, because you already have approved, again, from my request, in advance, a resolution approving for you to execute. So therefore, I'm just waiting until I clear it for you and Aaron to sign the agreement.
How about the issue of the street, vacating the street or not?
The street is still an open end.
Still on the back burner?
We're dealing with the little issue with the attorneys, but I am convinced that I will probably, for the next meeting, if I have it ready, which will probably be Monday, I will give you a resolution denying acceptance of the dedication.
So whatever was done before supposedly with the planning board, or whatever they were mentioning,
That is not binding, as far as everyone is concerned, is not a binding aspect. If the council refuses to accept the dedication, that's a right that the council has.
okay. Very good.
Sal, prior to, like, we authorized you to execute the agreement, right?
Yeah.
Can you just email it and then give us like a 48-hour window to read it, just so,
Absolutely.
nothing is missed or whatever?
I thought it was.
I have it, Sal, so I can email it to everyone, and it's the mayor and I that sign it. So, and it was included in that resolution already, so I don't need to do an additional one.
No, it should be in the same one. I don't think there's any change. Let me check.
Okay.
Sure. I'll check if it's the exact same thing that I quoted.
All right.
I'd just like the benefit of reading it before we.
Sure, absolutely.
Sal, was there any mention of that little park I was talking about last week in the agreement?
In the agreement, that has nothing to do with the park plan.
Okay.
That's just strictly, that's something in the plans themselves. And the
Planning board, when it comes to the planning board?
definitely, I mean,
Yeah.
I remember the plans myself, so it was there in the center.
It was there.
Am I right? You remember? Yep.
Okay.
It was a swimming pool and the park.
Okay.
Okay, 1G is the fire department standby from the February snowstorms.
No, excuse me, just really going further. And the reason I'm being a stickler about it is because we want the kids playing on jungle gyms, not on the Passaic River.
No, we don't want anybody playing on the stick road. Not even kids or adults.
And that the equivalent, synonymous to the Passaic River would be crossing River Road with a mother with her carriage and another child. And
Well, with regards to the park itself, I think that park is strictly for the residents and occupants of the development.
Yeah.
It's not for an open, the
Yeah.
only public area that will be accessible to the general public will be the easement going to the dock and the 10 parking spaces that are there.
okay. Moving along.
Okay, we have the fire department standby from the February snowstorm. Any questions? And then lastly, for resolutions, we have the DMR Architects investigation studies. And with that being said, I'll turn that over to Mr. Foligno.
Thank you, Aaron. Yes, Mayor, this is the firm that we had met with that we are going to bring on, retain for special projects. There are several special projects that are coming up in the near future, and we would like to use this planner to oversee those projects.
Very good. We did meet with this company, and they seemed very much on the ball. I was pleased with them. Daniel, how'd you feel about them?
Yeah, no, just for the council, I mean, you know, we had little mini presentations a few months ago in small settings, so this is a continuation of that. This firm has to, for things to progress, the firm has to find that this area meets the redevelopment criteria, and then, you know, we'll get that report. The planning board has a role in it, but if they find that it is redevelopable in that category, then, you know, we keep moving towards making decisions about whether or not we want to do this.
Yeah, and they kind of specialize in it too.
Yeah.
So, which makes it good for us. We'll get that, the most bang for the
This
buck.
firm is, handles all of Hackensack's redevelopment, and Hackensack has had a, you know, tremendous last 5-10 years in terms of redevelopment, so they're definitely qualified.
So between the two proposals in front of you, it's roughly an estimated 25,000. So we'll need a not to exceed amount. So what is your pleasure with the not to exceed amount? Okay.
You would have a resolution prepared or?
Yeah, I'll do a resolution for next Thursday with the not to exceed amount of 25,000. Okay, next we have ordinances. I relisted the tattooing prohibited ordinance in case Mr. Ingraffia had an update on that.
With the tattoo ordinance, again, it's illegal what we have, but I'm working on trying to get a comprehensive, ordinance set up, so you just don't have it anywhere popped all over the place, so you open up.
So we'll hold it for March then.
Right, and I'm going to then eventually probably be forward to the planning board.
Okay, so we'll address it again come March. So that's all I have for ordinances. And lastly, we have departmental reports. We have the Recreation Advisory Board meeting minutes from February 24th, 2020 and October 19th, 2020. The reason why they are late is because they didn't meet during COVID in order to approve the meeting minutes. So that's why they are a little bit delayed. We have the Planning Board meeting minutes from December 9th, 2020. Board of Health meeting minutes from December 14th, 2020. Library Board meeting minutes, December 21st, 2020. Everyone received this already, but it's the Police Department year-end report, followed by the Fire Prevention Department year-end report. 3G is the Zoning Board of Adjustment minutes from January 27th, 2021. We also have the Millennium Strategies report for the year up until the end of January. The Building Department monthly report from January, and then the Finance Department report through January 31st. As you all know, I save all the departmental reports for our second work session, so that's why we have so many.
Okay.
And that's all I have, Mayor.
Okay, council reports. Councilwoman Ballesteri?
Okay, I don't really have anything for tonight, so I will say progress.
Thank you. Chaki? Well, I'm not sure the last name yet. I'm going to practice it before I say it publicly.
Really good, Mayor. Just from last week, Mr. Scallione was asking about vaccine. I spoke to a lady that's in charge of CVS, and she said you can have somebody from your health department. They have kind of a group within CVS that can arrange all that for our seniors in town to have the vaccine. But somebody from the health department would have to call them and schedule and make that happen.
Erin, can we facilitate that?
Marlene is the liaison. I'm not sure if that will suffice for them or if we'll need the county to get involved. So I will ask Marlene to look into it tomorrow.
What's CVS?
You can reach out to any CVS and they will direct you to their
Okay, so this way Marlene
right
would know.
department within the vicinity of that CVS.
Probably that.
Mike, are we getting any signals from Trenton regarding Bergen County and the vaccination?
There will be no, I'll let, Lorraine, I gave her a report on it. Yeah.
Okay, so when we get to, okay, continue, Shakib.
That's all I have to say, Mayor.
That's it? Very good, very good.
Just, I know we spoke about, sorry, Mayor, if you don't mind,
No,
the
no, no,
the
please.
Garfield vaccination site. We received 100 doses that went relatively quick. And then unfortunately, we found out that the next round that we got is for the second shot of those 100. So right now, we're only at 100 vaccines. And for all the work that we put in to get approved as a vaccination site, it's was kind of disappointing to hear. And we have no update on when we'll get more vaccines. So for all the work that we put into it, it's not the best result.
We don't feel bad now.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm sharing it.
Mr. Fasol is not here this evening. Mr. Golombek,
Thank you.
would you, just call me Harry.
I attended my first fire chiefs meeting this past Monday. Nothing substantial to report
Your mic,
at this time.
they tell us.
I attended the fire chiefs meeting on Monday. Nothing substantial to report at this time. Last night, a few of us had a meeting with the two soccer clubs in town, trying to restart the conversation to see if they could merge as one and, have one good product for the community, for the youth of the community, for the soccer community. So we walked out of there with, it was a good meeting, productive. Everyone's open to it. So we're gonna keep having meetings until we either hit a wall or can accomplish this once and for all. So I'm happy we did that. Sandy was there as the rec liaison. Shakib was there. He's obviously was in the middle of a lot of this for many years with one of the clubs. Good conversation, and hopefully we have good updates for the future.
Well, that sounds promising, and hopefully it'll come to fruition. Council President Wetschler.
Okay, the only thing I have is, Mayor, is the library meeting is gonna be February the 22nd at 6 o'clock, on Elmwood Park Library or Zoom. That's it. Progress.
Very good. Councilwoman Pellegrin.
Yes, just a couple things. Board of Health update. The Board of Health had their meeting on Monday evening. Angela Fava, our Residence Assistant Coordinator, was the guest speaker. Angela discussed the opening of the People's Pantry. Many volunteers are needed for this new addition to the WRAP program. Our Board of Health members were excited to be a part of helping with the food pantry. Many ideas and suggestions were made. We thank the Board of Health members for offering their help to aid our residents in need. Also at the meeting, a discussion was held about Elmwood Park being a vaccination site. We did many inquiries about having a vaccination site here in our community. Both the chief and the Board of Health secretary were told the state chooses and approves these sites, and at this time, no sites will be approved until there's enough supply of the vaccine. We as a community will keep trying. All Bergen County residents can register at www.bergencovidvaccine.com, or if you have any further questions on COVID vaccine, you can call our Board of Health Secretary, Marlene DeStefano, at 201-796-1457, extension 201, and their next regular meeting will be held March 8th at 7 p.m. Progress Center. So what I'm saying is the same thing everybody else has been saying. Of course, we would love a site here for our residents, but unfortunately, everyone's reached out, and because there's such a lack of supply at this time, nobody is going to be approved to be a vaccination site until they can build up the supply. So we will keep trying, obviously, for our residents, but right now, it's not possible.
Okay, so we're doing all we could.
We are
That's the
doing
most-
all we can.
That's most important.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be facilitated through the CVS, like you said, and the Walgreens first. That's probably how we're going
I
to
heard
get
it on
some.
the news today too, that the CVS's, the Walgreens, but I don't know, like, I'm glad Shakib brought it to the table for us,
Yeah.
and Marlene will reach out, but I don't know how far we're gonna get with that, but we're gonna try every avenue we could, Mayor. We have to
Very
help
good.
our residents in any way we can, so we'll get on it tomorrow. Thank you, progress.
Sounds good. I'd just like to talk a little about the snow removal. Conversations I've had with the chief and Scott Cars. We are basically going to keep a crew constantly from now until whenever, cleaning to spring, trucking snow. Naturally, the streets that are in jeopardy first, and in that order, we'll be constantly doing that. And keeping in mind that we have an 18-man crew there, you do get days when there's going to be water breaks, and it's going to alter that somewhat, but you should be seeing results as we saw this week on Market Street. It looks pretty good, what's going on there.
They did a great job.
Yeah, yeah. And it's important, too, because to have all this snow in one shot, and we've still got a lot of winter ahead of us, and if we don't get rid of in key spots, we're going to be in a lot of trouble. And that's been the chief's philosophy, my philosophy, and Scott's philosophy right from the get-go. And I'm sure we're all on board with that.
Definitely.
Right.
A quick question. We're saying a crew is working on this continuously. That's during their regular operating hours, right?
Yes.
So we're not incurring overtime at this point.
No.
We do have overtime for salting. Last night, the police department had to call them out around 3 AM because the roads got pretty slick. So, situations like that, yes, but the removal process they're doing on.
And that's like, how large of an operation is that? Like yesterday?
Salting?
Like everyone or half or?
No. One guy comes in.
Okay.
And just a little comment on the fire hydrants. I had a few calls and concerns about fire hydrants. Naturally, it's the residents' responsibility. However, when that's not happening, in order to keep us safe, we had our fire department go and make sure that all pertinent fire hydrants are cleared. And from what I understand, that is the case, that we're clear like that. You might see a fire hydrant that's under snow, but that's because the fire department deemed it not pertinent. There's another one in reach to where the hoses reach. I guess that's the philosophy there. But excellent coordination with that.
I have a question.
Yes.
And Steve's here too. If they're on call, right, at the firehouses and they're getting paid, waiting, God forbid, there's an emergency,
That's what we did.
that's when they did it?
Chief Bruce
Okay.
actually suggested that while the guys were on standby, he
Okay.
sent them out to shovel hydrants.
Okay.
I like.
Great move on his part and good thinking.
Yeah, because I thought to myself, well, we're paying them for that, right? They have to sit there anyway.
He took the initiative and
Yeah.
put that plan to action.
Great, that's
Yeah.
great.
I love those conservative views there, my lady.
See, I'm not a spender all the time.
Get used to it.
Don't get used to it. Thanks, Mike. That's all I have, Aaron, so we're going to move along. I guess we're going to go back to the public. Anyone from the public here to speak at this time on any subject? Mr. Freitag.
Jeffrey Freitag, 35 Pullman Drive. As the chair of the planning board, in fact, I brought this up to you last night, regarding this project that's going to take place on Route 80, predicted 5-year plan, whatever. During the application by Prologis, I brought it up to them. Are they aware of it? Nobody knew anything. I really don't know, just that I sat in a meeting, at a work meeting one time, and it was presented by the DOT. Is there anything, and a few of the members always talk about traffic intensification, if it's going to intensify the area. Now, that's a big project. The apartments is a big project. Mark Carroll may in some way impact it all the way. Is there any way that we can get a little heads up about what is really predicted to go on there? At the intersection of exit 61, I think it's supposed to go into, they're going to eliminate the entrance going westbound that goes beneath Route Route 80, on River Drive. So there are going to be changes. Did they publish it in the state register or anything about what they're predicted to do?
Mayor, can I answer?
Please, Mike.
So, part of my notes here is I'm gonna contact them and get an update from them, whether it's an email, whether they wanna come and make another presentation, whatever, and then we can share that with the planning board,
Okay, great.
all right?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Jeff. Anybody else from the public here to speak? Yes, Jenny, TriTag.
Just a couple of observations, not complaints, but.
No, please,
I
please.
know budget season is coming up. In front of the generator, by the generator in front of the rec center, I know you had put up those black, I'm gonna call them curtains.
I think we're gonna need new ones.
I was just gonna
The
say,
winter was
they are
pretty
starting
rough
to
on
look very shabby, they're tearing off. I mean, obviously, you're not gonna do it now, but it's something just to be aware of.
No, I think,
And preserve
I
it.
think the plan is gonna be to get more of like a windstream type one that has,
Or maybe I was thinking the slats that go through the
Yeah.
fences or something, they blow out too, but you can always buy those and just stick them in where they're missing, because the intention was good to have something that looked nice there, but they're starting to look pretty
do you
bad.
have a color preference?
Doesn't matter to me. The only other thing I want to say, and this is not a complaint, it's just an observation. I go to the library frequently, and I realize the snow has to be moved somewhere, but it's being piled up against the entrance to the library. There's a path that goes from the parking lot down past like where the porta toilets are and then into the library. When I got there the other day, I had to walk out to Market Street, actually to Boulevard, and they had shoveled a pogo stick path. Just something to be considered for the future. Maybe they could not put the snow right by the path.
Okay, we
Because,
will.
I mean, I saw enough not to walk through the snow. I mean, it's about that high, but it is, I think, a little dangerous. And when you go down to the boulevard, they had a very narrow path. I mean, you can get through, but the main walkway to the library was completely covered because, like I said, the pile of snow was astronomical there. Just an observation.
We'll let them know.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jenny. Anyone else from the public here to speak?
Oh, one other thing. We were talking about the vaccines. On Facebook, there is a group, I think it's New Jersey Vaccines or something like that. And there are people who are helping people get appointments. Jeff and I did get our own appointments, but it took some doing. And there are a lot of people that they say they don't have a computer or they're not patient. You have to keep going, refreshing, keep going back to get a time slot. So there are some people that are helping people. So this is something maybe to pass on to your townspeople that you communicate with, that there are people out there who independently will get online for them. Excuse me?
They were volunteers.
They're volunteers, they don't charge anything, but for instance, you might have somebody elderly who doesn't have a computer.
You want
who
that
doesn't have
information?
the patience to wait, and they can give their general information just to these people, and they will help them. And I saw today they got quite a few of them.
Can you forward us that
Yeah,
information and then,
I'll look the site.
If you send it to me, I'll have
Yes.
Angela Fava start working with it.
Yes, I mean, it's something just for people to look into. Some people might not feel comfortable doing it, but it's something else to consider. I also did see that CVS is giving it out in several places. Elmwood Park currently is not one of the pharmacies. And somebody did say that all the CVS shots are accounted for.
Yep.
But that doesn't necessarily mean it's true. You know, so that's, like I said, you gotta keep going back. I mean, we must have tried a couple of hundred times before we finally got it. So just something to pass along.
thank you, Jeannie. Anyone else care to speak from the public? If not, I will close the public portion. May I have a motion to enter into executive session, please?
Second.
All in favor? Thank you.
Whereas the Open Public Meetings Act, PL 1975, Chapter 231 permits the exclusion of the public from a meeting in certain circumstances, and whereas this public body is of the opinion that such circumstances presently exist, and whereas the governing body wishes to discuss personnel and litigation legal reports, minutes will be kept, and once the matter involving the confidentiality of the above no longer requires that confidentiality, then the minutes can be made public. Now therefore be resolved that the public be excluded from this meeting.
Excuse me.
He's the police officer.
Yeah, he's with me.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
We're off.
Yeah, you could